Hello, welcome to Games Gone By episode. I don't know what episode it is. This is going to be a new intro for the beginning ones because we never actually made this an intro. If you listen to it, this is just a segment from Blue Rupees. Now he's just gone. I'm Adrian. The one that you see there is Redman. You got David here. No, that's Gore. This is our book club that we do on our podcast, Blue Rupees. We post this about once a month. We're going through our backlog and reposting episodes. It's too late for this right now. We're posting this up as standalone episodes right now, and because we never actually recorded an intro, people are gonna see how happy you are in this intro, and then see you're just like.
That's from Bad Lieutenant. That's the one where he says no panties.
All right. This is our video game book club podcast, though. We're gonna put this at the beginning of the first couple episodes. I don't know how many times you might see it. You might see it 1, 2, maybe 3. I don't know how many times actually. We'll see.
Probably 4.
Or 4 or 5, and you're gonna just see that little giggling Gus over there having a good time.
Pictures.
Yeah, you can follow us at Games Gone By, brp@bluerupees.com. You can email us. And honestly, at this point, if you email us about any sort of impressions you have on any game that we played, we love to read them. Just kind of get impressions from the back catalog. Because we do, especially for different seasons, we will go back and look back at the games that we did play.
Hell yeah.
There. Good way to send it off. We love everyone. Enjoy.
Fuck you. There you go. We gotta talk about our little boy. Right? Is that what's next?
A little boy.
Our boy Isaac.
Oh.
Binding of Isaac, right? That's what we played. Yeah.
Welcome to the Games Gone By segment, so we can cut this out later for its own little thing.
Yeah. What's up?
What's up?
Say hello to your mother for me.
Happy currently Halloween.
Currently, yeah, that's true. Well, as of recording, it might not go up the same day as Halloween. Maybe should I put this up on Halloween instead of the podcast, and then put the podcast up a day later?
No.
Just because it fits well? No? Well, fuck it then. Never mind.
What
you just said Happy Halloween, but this is going up after Halloween. So
as of recording this. What happened to your Undertale thing?
I thought you could say, what happened to your face? Like, oh, it doesn't look that bad, does it? No, I don't know. I haven't posted it. I kind of like... I still have like 4 videos of the podcast of the playthrough, so they'll go up eventually.
Are you remaking? Are you doing it again so you don't just take out the voices?
Yeah, we gotta remake it. No, I don't really care about that. But people are just upset. You know what? That's the one thing about Undertale. Everybody knows now. I mean, that I know now that everybody has like a voice in their own head for how characters sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I go, I'm fans, or whatever that voice was, everybody's like,
hey, it's
me,
like,
that's not
Sans Undertale.
Sans Undertale. Like, if I did that voice, and people be like, that's not how Sans talks. I'm like, how do you know how he sounds?
This is our Games Gone By segment. Every month, one of us picks a game. We go through it, kind of look back how it did critically, sales-wise, talk about maybe the history of where our studio is at now, about the series, and then we go back and we all play it. So we talk about what's going on with it.
I don't want to talk about where the studio is.
Oh, we're gonna get into it. So
Trash can.
This is Gore's pick.
Yeah, it was fun. It's a good choice because I did want to play it. It was on my backlog.
You wanted a scary game. It's the one thing that came out of his mouth. He couldn't think of anything else. He said sure, and he was like,
I like Dead Space. That's a good choice. Right? Everybody was like, yeah. I was like, all right, that's the only thing I could think of.
And then Gore in the corner was like,
yeah, when it's that Doom, considering we've been talking about
he was gonna do Doom.
I did that like 2 weeks later. Like I like one of the podcasts I mentioned that because I thought about it. I was like, oh shit, did that? But it was already like Fury finished it.
Should I do Doom for March?
Oh, that's a good choice. That's a quick game too. I'd be down to do that.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Spoilers.
Check it out in March.
Check it out in March. It's coming.
At the end of this podcast, we'll be announcing what our game for November is. David's choice.
David, it's gonna be Mass Effect.
All right, but yeah, so we do this. We're gonna post it separately. We will post our Undertale one probably separately sometime after Chris posts his walkthrough of the game or his playthrough. But yeah, so this is we went through Dead Space. Me and Chris played on Xbox. David played on PC. The game released October 13th, 2008. The Metacritic was
great time.
Yeah, Metacritic was 89 on 360, 88 on PS3, and 86 on PC. As David can say, the PC version had some difficulties.
Garbage.
What was happening?
86 is
Hey,
garbage.
go on a little rant here, because you want to talk about it, but you didn't want to like get too overboard in it.
The PC version is fucking horrible. So it suffers from one of the major problems that a lot of PC games during that era had, where they designed it for console first, and then they're like, oh, that's right, the PC market. What do we do? So it has this weird pseudo map analog control to the mouse. Instead of it being actual 1-to-1, it fucking has like this weird lag to it. So aiming is a nightmare. It's horrible. And the game is buggy as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, I should have captured some footage of it. But like there's this, it was like level 3 or something like that. I was going into, and there was this scientist dude that's supposed to be dead on the floor.
And there are spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, spoilers, man.
The living room.
I think it was like the 3rd chapter or something like that. But I walked into this room, spent some nodes to get in there, and I look over and there's this dude on the ground. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. This the room that has like the scientist's notes about the xenomorphs or necrons or whatever the fuck.
Necromorphs.
Xenomorph is the alien.
Yeah. So I walk in there, and as soon as I start walking to him, he stands up. I'm like, what the fuck? This isn't part of the game.
And you hear in the background,
and then I walk away,
stand up!
And this bottle, like,
fall down.
It has a seizure and then falls back down. And then I'm like, what? Oh, that was weird. So I walk back over, and he stands back up again.
Stand up.
And anytime I walk near him, he kept standing the fuck back up.
And then when we walked back, he fell down. And then when you get far enough away, he's like, that's my type of shit.
And there's just tons of little instances like this where, like, sometimes the fucking necromorphs would, like, get stuck in walls. They would start to charge after me, and then they would get, like, stuck on a wall or doorway. And I couldn't even shoot at them. I would, like, try to get the limb, but it's, like, clipping through the fucking wall, so I can't even fucking hit them. And just tons of stupid little shit on the PC version. I have no idea how it scores so high because it's such a fucking buggy game. And the controls are horrible. Absolutely fucking horrible. I ended up finding a mod that does like weird mouse acceleration to make it a little bit more play. But it's not a good game on PC. Would never recommend playing on a PC. But aside from that, yeah, it's a good game. I had fun with it. The only thing I personally hate is it was a neat concept at the time of getting rid of the HUD entirely and putting it on the character. But by doing that, it makes the camera angle so weird to work with. Just with how games are nowadays, I had a hard time readjusting to that.
Sure.
There are times where I'm like looking down or something or near a wall and I try to look up the inventory. I'm like, oh shit!
And it's like in your, it's like fucking right here. I can't see my medical herbs or whatever the fuck they are.
I did kind of like that aspect though, that it kept everything in game. So it's like if you're fucked and there's a room and you're like out of health, you're like, gotta run to the corner, gotta fucking.
I had like straight up like at all times I had like 5 or 6 herbs on me or wherever they are, they're medicinal things, and every time I would have to use one, it would be like when there's like 4 of them charging at me, I'm like, and I have to like fumble with the thing while they're fucking attacking me. I'm like, and I have to get out, run. Or those little
fuckers, literally the fucking hardest things. When
you're just shaking them off.
The hardest fucking enemy in the game is the little fuckers, not the big motherfuckers.
Which one? Not the baby ones where they shoot the 3 things out.
No, I'm talking about the ones that.
You're talking about the little guys that get on you.
Those things knock the fuck out of your health. Like it's.
Yeah,
like, I was like knocking.
That's when you use the pulse rifle.
Yeah.
The one time you should use the pulse rifle is whenever those guys.
Yeah, I played through that with most of it the pulse rifle.
Oh yeah, but most people, if you upgrade the pulse rifle to like not all the way, but you know at least.
Weapons are gonna be something I'm gonna talk about.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, pulse rifle is fine. I don't think it's as shitty as some people think. But anyway, go.
So, sold over 2 million is a good interest for the IP there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people thought. What do you guys think of? Was it actually like a scary game, or is it? What do you think? So
Dude,
you thought it was scary.
Yeah. You know what? I shouldn't say it's scary. It is. It definitely
tense.
is. It was tense. It was fucking. You know what? I hate tension way more than being scared.
Yes.
I found out while playing this game because the entire time I'm playing like this, it's just like I was even trying to listen to a podcast whenever there was like no like story or whatever, just to like bring down the tension a little bit. Just to be like, there's other people here. I'm okay. It's so, like there's a podcast going on, and it wouldn't work. It was just like it was really fucking because they could pop up anywhere. You can go to one area, get the item you need to get, and go back to the same area you're just in, and every time there'd be a new enemy there, but it would always pop up in different places than you would expect.
I was making that note in the last when we were finishing up the game. I like that the safe areas weren't always safe areas, you know?
No, I love
like sometimes
that.
it pissed me off. And you know what? And I've adopted Chris's style of play. I've learned where I was playing with someone watching, and they were laughing at me because literally
just,
it
like,
was
slowly get in there.
No. I'm saying is I play how you play Overwatch, where it's I see someone I'm like, you fucking idiot, fuck you. I start shooting, you fucking hurt me, you piece of shit. I'll just talk shit, and then they'll go, did you just call that thing an idiot? I'm like, yeah, because it fucking tried to kill me. And I just keep calling everything idiot. I'm like, I'm shooting tentacles off, you fucking moron.
You dumbass.
Yeah.
I like doing that in a horror game where I'm just like, that's how I make it so that I'm not scared anymore.
If you hear me,
I'm the thing you're scared of.
If you hear
me, scared of me.
If you hear me, I'm like Doom Guy's internal thoughts where I'm kind of annoyed that I'm in the situation more than I'm scared. I'm like, oh, you fucking piece of shit, you fucking hurt me. You come behind me.
I need to finish this game in 3 hours.
See, I will say that's one thing I do have as a criticism of the game. It came out in an era where jump scares were really getting abused, and there's a lot of that throughout the game. But aside from that,
go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm just saying, I think they've done well, but go
ahead. What I really hate is there's a lot of like beginner traps in the game. I remember most of the game, but there was a lot of segments where it's like you're doing the backtracking. And I'd see an enemy initially pop out of like a vent. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, enemy. Got to focus on that. And then it's like, I'm getting hit from the back. I was like, what the fuck? And then it's like, all right, died, respawn, start to trigger that guy, immediately turn around. It's like, oh, there you are, asshole.
I did like that it stuck behind you. I like the aspect that it wasn't a forward-going game. It was always shit was behind you, too, at times.
I always, when I see an enemy like kind of far away, I'm like, "What the fuck's behind me first?" I mean, I'm like, he's far away enough where I can like look real quick, and then there'd be times where like the little baby guys are on the wall or whatever. I'm just like, "Here you go, bam!" And then I turn around and the fucking guys like.
I ended up getting into the habit of it again, but I hate that it's like that weird beginner trap of it's like.
Once you know the gimmick of that little area, you know what it is. Yeah, that's fine. That's fair. That's all. That's a lot of scary games. That happens.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, I don't think it was necessarily scary. Intention was there, but it wasn't as crazy high as maybe some parts of like Resident Evil 4 were.
You played it with your
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what difficulty did you guys play on?
Medium.
Okay, I played on hard.
I played on easy. I was like, fuck this. I need to get through it.
Yeah. No.
That's probably why I got through it so quickly, though.
Yeah, I was watching you because I popped up the guide and I was like, oh, he's catching up to me. I gotta finish.
I finished it pretty quickly, considering I think you were playing I think you were already ahead of me earlier today, and you were playing for like a good hour before I even got into it. I was just like, and I was catching up pretty quick.
Adrian playing a game is like.
That's you. You're talking about
stop. Play stop.
Oh yeah.
Play.
I mean, if anybody out there has played the game Destiny, you would not want to play with Adrian, because when me and him, well, first of all, that game sucks anyway. But
fuck you.
If a game is engaging enough for me to like want to keep doing it and keep playing
every mission, I would have to wait like 20 minutes in the friggin' lobby, like going on that tree and dancing and friggin' doing my own thing, waiting for your ass to come back. It's like, all right, we could have played that game for 30 hours. I think maybe 20 hours.
If a game is engaging enough, I'll actually stop and do that. But I
had to stop a couple times in this game because I was just like, I'm fucking, I need a break. Like, I don't know, this shit affects me way more than other people.
Now, so even though I wasn't necessarily scared, there wasn't really any scary moments. Maybe I think literally like today, maybe one just jump scared me just because I was like turning and focusing on killing the little fuckers. I turned left, and the guy's like, oh, I'm like, fuck.
There's like a lot of times where I jump, like, like startled you.
But I will say that
there's nothing that makes me go, like, I fucking pause the game, I look around, like, Where
Yeah.
are they?
But I will say that
With,
with that said, that's not a negative, and I will
No.
say that this was like as I expected when I first heard of the game and have been wanting to play this. This is very much the spiritual successor to Resident Evil 4 that I've been wanting
yeah.
for years. So I'm glad I finally got to play it.
You get to move and aim at the same time.
Move and aim, and then you kind of even though it wasn't as fun as because the inventory part is fun in Resident Evil 4.
Yeah,
You know,
this one.
it's like Tetris is part of it. You know, like I could squeeze in something right here if I just move this over here a little bit, but didn't have that. But
And it pauses the game of Resident Evil, so you just.
so
like,
it was a
just
sacrifice that I
focus
was okay with. That it was like, all right, you got to keep moving and you cannot stop unless you are actually pause, which in case you can't actually activate your inventory.
Yeah.
Versus the actual organizing stuff.
So good.
But yeah, so with that said, one of the notes I took was that originally Dead Space was supposed to be System Shock 3.
Yeah.
But the team got inspired by Resident Evil 4 to make something else along those lines. And a quote from PC Gamer goes, so this is a quote within a quote. Quote, to do a System Shock 3, you're really tackling a monumental task. To make people happy with a sequel that wasn't made by the same team as the original, Wanat explains. And while the game didn't make it out the door and live on as a third System Shock, Wanat said that a new entry in the series was the goal they shot for early on. Quote, it was like, everybody get your System Shock 2 copy, play it start to finish, and let's figure out what we're going to do. Unquote. Wanat sat recalling the early days of development. Quote, then Resident Evil 4 came out, and we're like, oh no, this is the shit.
This is the shit.
So,
oh no,
because we're getting our System Shock 3 soon, anyways.
Yeah, we're getting that, and it actually looks pretty good. Have you seen the gameplay recently?
Yeah.
Looks pretty good. And we have the System Shock 1 remake.
Yes.
They're like too much System Shock now. Where's BioShock?
Dead.
That was the real successor, obviously.
And it's dead, so they gotta give it a shock.
That sucks.
But yeah, so that was one of the quotes, and again, I got Resident Evil 4 vibes the entire way through. Super fun.
Definitely.
And to talk about that, the gunplay was a lot of fun. I thought. I fucking
the
loved,
limbs.
So it was. I never knew that the gimmick was because the first they don't tell you what to do right away when you first see it. So I'm shooting this motherfucker. I'm like, why the fuck are you dying? Fucking die.
Gotta shoot
And then
them limbs.
afterwards, like, Isaac, shoot the limbs, it'll kill it. I'm like, oh. And then bang, 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 bang. Hell yeah.
Yep, shoot the legs, and you know it's so satisfying when you get your laser. What's it called? A line gun. You get that bitch, or you just shoot both their legs off. And switch to the plasma cutter.
So line gun for the first half of the game was one of my favorite guns ever. I love the fact that you can swap it from a high shot to a side shot. That's so much fun. That's such a
plasma cutter is one of the best guns ever.
That's so much fun.
It is the best gun in the game. Like it is. They give you the best gun in the game to begin with.
Yeah, and I'll agree it was until I got my favorite gun. But let me ask you guys first. What was your favorite gun? I'm assuming yours line.
Mine's probably plasma cutter, but if we're not talking about a plasma cutter, I love the line gun and I love the force gun. The force gun's great. I'm assuming that's gonna be yours. The force gun, the one that just go. Just
I never actually used it.
You never got that one?
No,
that one's really good. That one's actually really good, especially if you upgrade it. The damage, it's just fun watching like three of them come at you and just like blow them back away, and they just like fall on the ground, and you just like get up on them and just like start blowing their limbs off with the force gun. Right. It's fun. But I would say most of the guns are good except for one. We'll get to that. But anyway, that's my two, I guess.
Well, it's funny you say that because my favorite gun is probably the one that is the shittiest in the game. But I found it to be the most satisfying, which is the flamethrower.
Dude,
that's the one everybody hates.
It's ass. It's ass, and I was so excited. Garbage. I was so excited. I'm like, oh fuck! And whenever I hear flamethrower in a game, I'm like, fuck yeah, flamethrower! Are you kidding me? Hell yeah! And so I got it. I bought some ammo for it, hanging in there. There's one part that had like two of those really hard to kill motherfuckers. The ones like armored. I'm like, all right, flamethrower.
Yep. It's good for the little guys on the ground, though.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, like, why am I gonna have a gun just for those guys? Like, fuck that.
Yeah, but no, slots for other guns.
If it did better, it would have been one of my favorite guns, but it didn't.
It didn't. No, it makes sense actually because this is all like an engineer. Like, you're an engineer. That's why you can get to the store and buy all the stuff and upgrades. And a flamethrower would be something that I would assume like someone like an engineer would want. Right, for whatever. not
Yeah.
murdering people, obviously, but like fucking doing engineer shit on a space station. I'm assuming. So it actually makes sense. Like even the plasma cutter is not actually a gun. Isn't supposed to just be a thing that actually cuts things like bolts and whatever.
I assume
Like,
so. That's why it's actually
yeah.
three dots and.
Yeah, that's why it has the 3 dots and stuff. I don't know about the other gun. The other guns are just guns. But the line gun you could
But
maybe
they
say like
but they make a
big
precedent
wires or
that
something
there's
like that.
guns on the ship, like when you're in the other
Yeah,
ship.
because it's soldiers.
Yeah, when I think when you're in the other ship, or it might have even been the Ishimura,
The
you hear the audio log of like, all right, we're breached, fire at will, everyone grab a gun.
yeah. So the pulse rifle makes sense to be there and stuff. But I like that they make the store make sense, and I like they make the bench make
And
sense and
isn't the
stuff.
fucking upgrading the suit one of the most satisfying things ever?
I
It
want to
really
just stay
is
in
having
there.
that visual progress for what you're doing.
Yeah, you just have little pieces of armor
I
around,
love.
and by the
You
time you,
know
get a level
why?
5 suit, it's
You
just
know
like
why? You know why I just got so fucking hyped every single time? It gave me, it gave me the most like I didn't expect it, but it gave me so much nostalgia for fucking Toonami Tom.
oh yeah, a
Yep.
little
Kind
bit.
of popping out, just fucking new ass armor, and looking like a badass. And I'm like, I didn't know I needed this in my life again. It felt good.
You know what? You know why it felt good to me is because like I knew for this little moment nothing could hurt me. It's like, they can't. This is actually one of the only times where there's actually a cutscene in the game, and they can't hurt me. They can't. They can't do anything right now.
Protect that
No
man.
necromorph can attack me while I'm in this thing. Imagine they could though.
And he just stays in there.
Yeah, because if you're in the store, they can still attack you. If it's not like the only other time I think is if you get to save, like if you're on the save
No, they
menu.
can still hit you there.
No, I meant like if it says like save,
It
like
pauses.
it
Pauses the world when you're in there.
It pauses the world, yeah. So that's like the only other time. But benches,
'Cause
stores.
they had a save state right where one of those indestructible guys was at for me.
Oh, there you go.
And I
Those guys.
ran
Well,
in
it's
there
just
really
one
quick.
guy.
I ran there quick, saved it, and ran back.
Yeah, it's only one guy though. The
Yeah.
regenerator. Yeah.
But no,
Which
so
that's annoying.
yours is the flamethrower, David.
It was the worst weapon in the game, but it was the most satisfying.
Yeah, the flame effects look great too.
Yeah, for
11
2008
years
too.
later.
I
Yeah.
like how and it felt weird because you could feel it was 2008 as game, especially the inventory where it's like it wouldn't let you if you had a gun with empty ammo, you couldn't actually pick up the ammo for that gun. You had to like take something out, put the ammo in, reload it, then pick the thing up. I'm like, oh, this is 2008 for sure.
Yeah.
So
That's also survival horror though. You could also
Right.
say like you it's realistic to the point where there's no HUD. It's like there is. But...
my favorite weapon was the buzzsaw.
Yeah, the Ripper.
That thing,
The Ripper's good.
the fucking Ripper. Not only was there fucking ammo on days, like I swear, like all my other guns run out of ammo. One single buzz, especially if you power that thing up, can kill like 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah.
And they just stack on. I swear I had probably like 100 some of buzz saws. But I was using, and I use it. I spam them in fights too, and I only use like 4, 5, or 6 maybe tops of those for every fight.
Those are awesome. The only reason why I don't care for them is because if there's somebody behind you, it's really hard to get behind you.
Yeah, it takes a second to like actually get up
and
there.
also, the saw blade's too far or whatever. It fucks you up, especially since a lot of times they'll go behind you. I kept that in my inventory. I had the pulse rifle, I had the plasma cutter, I had the line gun, and I had the what is it called?
Ripper.
The Ripper, yeah. But then sometimes I would switch it out with the force gun because I didn't get the force gun until much later in the game. That was like the last gun I bought because I didn't think I'd like it, but I
was looking at that, but I was kind of struggling on ammo because I was kind of rushing through it, or not ammo, but money.
I got a lot of ammo for that force gun. I would find it everywhere for the last half of that game. I was just like, Jesus.
Yeah, no, I had the line gun with me. I sold the flamethrower for the line gun. No, I had the line gun earlier, but I sold the flamethrower because like this is garbage. But,
line gun, just when you have like 3 people like running at you and just like aim for their legs and just fucking they go and they're crying and I'm like, all right, shoot one more time, done.
Yeah.
So good. But, you know what's really satisfying when the little baby creatures have all 3 of their tentacles out and you just shoot all 3 of them at the same time.
There was one moment where you're out in the that starboard area where you're up there and you have to get the elevator to go up and down where 3 of the exploding guys fall down. If you shoot one at the right angle, it explodes all 3 of them.
Yes. Those guys are good too. You know what? That's another thing we should say, that they have a good variety of necromorphs.
Yeah, everything was out there. The only annoying ones, there were some annoying, and I can't tell if this is game design annoying or just like me kind of getting annoyed. But like they came up at like awkward times. Like I kind of got bugged whenever A lot of those like the ones that shoot rockets, little baby ones that shoot rockets after you.
Yeah.
Those ones got annoying when there was so much other people around that you couldn't figure out. Okay, do I shoot that guy or get fucking knocked out by this guy? Do I shoot this guy
Yeah.
and get shoot at? It felt kind of annoying. It wasn't even like
Sure.
it was a challenge, but it just kind of felt annoying. It was like because there were some times where it got paced out really well with like different waves, but like they kind of complemented each other, you know?
Yeah. That's why I think the major flaw with this game is there's no shotgun. What the fuck?
Is that in
Like,
two?
that's when a shotgun would be great. I can't remember if the second game has a shotgun. I don't think it does.
I'm sure the third probably does.
I don't remember either. Well, the third has that. The only really cool thing about the third game is the customization of the weapons, because you can customize them.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah.
That's it. I mean, when it comes to gameplay, Dead Space 3 is a really fun game.
Also, the suits
When it-
apparently look
when it
fucking more
comes to-
badass, though.
Yeah, they're. I mean, because you're in the winter, it's like a winter planet, so all of them
Spoiler.
are white too. I mean, look at the front cover of the game. He's in
Yeah.
a white suit, and there's.
I think
snow
we played that
everywhere.
level or something.
Yeah,
Something
yeah, in the demo, we
level.
played the demo. That's
Yeah.
right. That game we should maybe do next year.
I'd be down to do some more Dead Space. I mean, I have all three of them.
Yeah, I guess we could do Dead Space 2 in between the next.
Every October, we'll
Yeah.
do a Dead Space game.
Well, no, I was thinking maybe we do Dead Space 2 sometime like middle of
That
next
one's
year.
a
and
shorter
then-
game, apparently, right?
Wait, how many players can you play with Dead Space 3? Only 2, right?
Yeah, I think it's only two.
Yeah, that sucks. All right,
Sorry,
never
David.
mind. No.
It's all good.
Oh,
It's
that's-
all look like you can play with, so it's fine.
oh, okay. Well, now I feel bad. We'll figure it out. Anyway,
We'll
yeah.
figure it out. We'll trade off because you guys will
Yeah.
play that, and then I'll recommend Army of Two, and I'll play with one of you guys for that.
Oh yeah, well you two can play that. I'm not fucking playing Army of fucking 2. I hate Army of 2.
So,
Which, you mean the first Army of 2? Because that game
Yes, the original.
sucks.
Pulse?
Fuck,
yeah.
So Pulse Rifle was cool for the tentacle guys, the ones that like the big ass tentacles that came out with the.
Yeah, they were fine. The
Yeah,
big
Pulse
the
Rifle
hive
knocked-
mind.
The Pulse
You-
Rifle
for
knocked
the
the
hive
fuck out
mind.
of that. Yeah, well, anytime the tentacles came out and slam at you, it was a couple different parts, but the
Yeah.
Pulse Rifle destroyed the shit out of those.
The pulse rifle's fine. It's not good against normal necromorphs.
It's
There's
hard.
Regular...
It's hard because you're shooting at a tentacle, and the Pulse Rifle is built to like spread fire.
Yeah. That's true. But it's also hard because they don't really explode the limbs, because the other ones are made to cut things, and that's just a gun. So you're just shooting a limb. It's not blowing off. So it makes sense why you're shooting the limbs of these things, and it takes a little while to even blow them up.
Right.
Unless you upgrade it. And like I upgraded to the point where
With
it
the
would.
max damage upgrades, it would take a few rounds. Because
I
like
didn't get to the
Pulse
max.
Cutter maxed out, it was one shot everything. Whereas
Yeah.
with the Pulse Rifle, even maxed out, it took me probably a good 3-4 rounds to fully kill something.
3-4 rounds. Damn. It's like, well, for me, at a certain point, I had like for the pulse rifle. Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking ammo. All right.
Well, it's not great.
Yeah.
But you also get a high capacity.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like for one round, like the capacity of one round is like, for me, it was 75 bullets at one
Right.
point.
That's what I did.
Yeah, I upgraded the capacity and damage to like, I'd say midway. It was like probably midway for me, because those are the only two guns I really focused on when it comes to like upgrading. I upgraded a little bit of the force gun, but I only got to like 2 damage things, but then nothing else.
It
But
is
the
very
plasma,
much-
the
it is
plasma
very-
cutter and the other one is the things I upgraded.
It does cater to replayability.
Yeah, well,
right
it
when you
says
beat
at
the
the end you get awarded all this stuff when you beat it, and it says like it pretty much says go play it again.
Yeah,
Do
it
it.
says-
Even says in the save it says Route 1.
Yeah.
Just like play it again.
So I
Really?
kind of want to go back and fuck around a little bit more with it, but I don't know. I don't have time. But and I also want to talk more about the series, but I want to keep it just a Dead Space 1. If we have to make the end attack to it, we will.
Sure.
Now, can I also just say, Dead Space had a phenomenal enemy variety, and the regular enemies were great, but I thought the boss fights kind of sucked.
The last boss fight was lame as shit.
Yeah, it was really lame. It was like the hive mind or whatever. It was, like,
I was
yeah.
trying. I was
It was kind of like.
So I was
I felt
following.
like. Go ahead.
I was following along with a video just to see where I was in terms of how long I had left of the game. It was like 6:30.
Probably watched the same video I did, because I did the same.
It was like
thing.
there was a 6-hour one and a 5-hour one.
Yeah, the 5.5 hour one.
Yeah, that's what I watched the 5-hour one
Yep.
to see if
Yeah,
I could.
we were
speed through
both
the
watching
one.
the same shit.
Yeah.
It's
So the guy's like, man, there's 2 people watching.
2 more views, even though it has like millions
Yeah.
of views, so I'm
No,
sure it still gets.
But I was skimming through it, and then it was like, and it was after the cutscene where the girl like says like, "Oh, you've been having hallucinations, dumbass," something like that, you know. And I
Oh
was like,
yeah,
"All right."
when she tells you that spoilers again. Nicole is actually dead.
Yeah.
That one, like, they're insane or whatever and shit. So yeah,
So
Just tell them from the very beginning of the game, but
it's very obvious. Yeah,
Right.
Right in the beginning, Nicole is acting weird. So you're just like,
right.
he was just like,
So,
oh my God.
but I was like, all right, it should be towards the end. It was like 15 minutes left. I was like, all right, I guess it's I guess no boss battle. I guess we're just gonna wrap it up and go to the end. And the boss
Really
battle came up, and I was like, it's supposed to be, and I wasn't even gonna look up how to fight the boss because sometimes bosses are kind of weird and a little bit difficult, and you're gonna die a couple times. But I was like, if the guy beats this in like 10 minutes to the end of the game, I think I'm good. And sure enough, it was just like, all right, shoot the 5 obvious orbs. All right, now shoot the 5 more orbs. All right, you're done.
And to be fair, in the rest of the game, there's a couple of like the brawler characters.
Those ones were like mini bosses. Those ones were actually pretty cool.
Those were cool, but they still had like they all have weaknesses technically. Just shoot their fucking.
The
they all have
fucked those guys up. By the way.
the buzzsaw, the line gun fucked them up too. I shot them like 3 times with a line gun, then they go into their like fetal position, and I'd be like, all right, let me reload. Then,
no, whenever they did that, I walk up.
2 more times if you done.
Whenever they did fetal position, I walk out with a buzzsaw. I'm just like holding it there, and you see all the blood coming out. I'm standing there like.
You're like. He just has a steel. I was like, oh!
That's the thing. Considering it had such great enemies, the boss fights really were garbage. Like another one I really hated was when you're in that rotating room.
Yeah, I like that one.
Just you just slowly sidestep while I hit all the fucking glowing spots.
Yeah,
and then kill your tentacles.
That one fucked me up at first because I was like living on the edge of just no ammo. I had fucking no ammo. And all I had left was a flamethrower and a buzzsaw. And I was like, welp. And I walked up to the fucking thing, and I'm like trying to reach it. Nothing reach it. And I'm like, guess I'll die.
You didn't start just grabbing stuff and throwing at them?
No.
That's another thing we should talk about is the stasis stuff, which is really fun. But
I barely use stasis, even though I should have.
I didn't use it too much in Dead Space 1, but Dead Space 2, I'll say, you use it way more. At least I think
I was
you
about
do.
to say, because it's kind of
you
easy. It just makes it a lot easier in this game. I feel like they gave it to you way too early. I feel like that should have been a little bit more later on, like.
Sure.
Because it kind of interesting. I kind of just forgot about it because I didn't really want to use it too much. But the gravity shit was kind of cool to kind of wave shit around.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I forgot what that's called, but not the stasis. The stasis, the flow down. The other thing's just like grab you and throw.
Yeah, there's magnet.
Like you grab one of their like knife arms or whatever and just impale them to the wall. It's always fun. But yeah. What else did we want to talk about? The boss fight. I didn't mind the boss fights. I do agree though they're a little obvious because they're weak points and stuff. But I guess 2008. I guess you can kind of forgive them because there's a lot of games doing that too back then. Like that was 2 years after.
Everything else is so good that I'm like, and the boss fights were quick, so I wasn't gonna. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
So again, it was.
Resident Evil 4 had those too. To be fair.
Right.
So
anyway. Made by Visceral. Rest in peace.
Yep. Rest in peace, Visceral. Yep.
Shut down in 2017 when they were working on that Star Wars codename Ragtag.
Yep.
That was one with I forget her name on the top of my
Amy
head.
Hennig.
Yep, Amy Hennig. Which Titanfall developers kind of Respawn just kind of came in and swept it. What they were doing there. It sucks. Yeah. You could tell that. Again, I'm trying not to go too far into it because we might end up talking about it, but you can tell they were kind of pushed into an action game towards 3, as opposed to kind of keeping it into its horror roots.
And the reason why is because EA really wanted this to be a huge seller, and they thought it would sell way more as just like this co-op action game, with all the customization and stuff, and to the point where I think they want co-op multiplayer, but they wanted it to sell like 5 million copies or something in its first like year, and I think it made like maybe half that, and that was like it for Dead Space. I was just like, because they had a huge budget too. Dead Space 2 had a huge budget also. I think it was like $100 million to make that game. Dead Space 1 did really well though. That's the reason. And Dead Space 2, because everybody loved Dead Space 1, everybody was like, Dead Space 2, fuck yeah. And it was like a quick, like I think 2.5 year like turnout for Dead Space 2, and it was great. Dead Space 2 I actually like more, even though it's been a long time since I played Dead Space 2 compared to.
Well, that'll be a Games Gone By eventually.
That one, I I was more in tune with the story of that, because here it's just like, you play a silent protagonist and whatever. And the second game, there's more story. There's way more story, I think.
He
And
becomes a character later on.
he becomes a pretty likable character, I think, at least. And this one, he's just like you see him twice. You see his face twice.
Yeah,
Beginning
and
and
that
end.
was it felt very Halo-y, where it's like someone's standing there and they're talking to you and you just don't respond back. And to be honest, that's kind of a trope in games I just don't like.
I don't
I
either.
get that. I
I'm
get
not
that,
liking that in Dragon Quest right now.
Yeah, I get that. A lot of Japanese games do that. I get that a lot of people are like, oh, I want to like immerse myself in the role and like take it, but I'm like, I can't immerse myself. I'm just silent. No one's fucking saying anything. I don't even mind like a voice. Like Mass Effect did it well. Like, I'm down to like pick my own dialogue, and I'm not gonna. I'll compromise like their idea of what their voice is if it means that I can actually respond back with what I want to say.
Yeah, but I look at Isaac and think just like normal dude. You know what I mean? Like, it would be one thing if you never saw Isaac's face in this game. You're just like, oh, he's just like a mystery helmet guy. Like, oh, but Master
But
Chief.
even like in the final cutscene when he's like kind of like reacting to
Yeah,
to
just
seeing
everything
her,
that happened.
he still like
Yeah.
has a lot more emotion in his face, and it's like.
Yeah, even when he finds out Nicole is actually dead, like you don't see his face, but he kind of does like this thing.
For the first time
like,
ever in the game, he'll like act out of his animations.
Yeah, because that's a huge reveal that actually affects him. So, like, even when what's his name Hammond dies, he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't even know Hammond. When Hammond gets his head he gets destroyed. Which I like that characters don't just die like heroically. They get, please help me! Oh my god! And then he just gets smashed against the glass.
Yeah, it's like some evil mastermind, like that girl at the end. She's like,
yeah.
I have this plan. I did this. She gave you a whole monologue of like about a minute before she fucking got crushed.
Yeah, and then she
giant
runs
tentacle
in.
came in. Flamp.
I like
swing.
Both of the characters die, you just hear the flat line too. Like,
yeah, I do.
I'm pretty sure they're dead. Thank you, game.
I do love the fact that it did also take the brutal deaths from Resident Evil 4 as well, because my first death in here was like, god damn, you get dismembered.
My first death was a glitch actually, because he was talking about a glitch. My first death, I had the same glitch twice. I had it in the beginning of the game, like maybe like an hour and a half into the game, and then I had it right at the end of the game too, and it both involved an elevator. I don't know what happened, but both times I recorded the second time it happened just so I have it on Xbox so you can watch it later if you want. It's just I go on the elevator, everything's fine, there's nothing on it. I press let's go, and then I just fucking explode. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I just explode. I'm like, okay, and I reload. I get on the elevator, and guess I'll die. I reload, go back on the elevator. I'm like, and it's fine. I was like, all right. So first time I died, it was pretty gruesome, but yeah, it has some awesome ones. Like, I didn't die too many times because I played on pussy easy mode, but whatever. If I had more time, I would play it on normal. No, I wouldn't. I'm lying. It was pretty easy though. Maybe I should put it on normal, because by the time I was done with the game, I had still like 6 medicinal things on me. I was just like, yeah, I should probably put it on.
I didn't think it was that hard of a game.
No, yeah. I just wanted to get through it, and also me scared. So I didn't want to have to like.
Hard as long as you have good aim. It's really not challenging.
There's times where I'm just like they're fucking jumping around.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Chris hates tension just in any game. Like, be it a scary game or be it fucking PUBG when you're at the end, like.
I don't like that because I don't like that because especially if everybody's dependent on me or some shit, like that one game we had where I was just like, I don't even know what the fuck's going on anymore, and I died. But yeah, I don't like tension. I do like tension. I just don't like to deal with tension. I should say, like when I'm playing this game and I'm enduring the tension, I'm still having a good time, and by the time I'm done with the game, I appreciate it. But I don't like having to endure it. It's like I don't like. Who the fuck would like to endure tension? Like that's why people go to see horror movies. I feel that's why. Yeah, I mean, no, I do like it, but I don't like the process of it. Like after I'm done with it, I'm like, that was good. I like that because I felt something. But like, if I go to a horror movie, like I don't know, something that really got me tense was like Hereditary. That was good, but I didn't enjoy the sensation of tension. Who likes to feel tense? Like
like.
Did that feel good to you?
Whenever
like,
I'm playing a game in tournament and it's like a lot, it's like if you're like very last hit and like everything's on the line for you, there's times where like my hands will just go numb and I'm just like trying to fucking focus. I don't know. I like that stuff. I mean, I get what you're saying. You like it, but you don't like
I like
You
it,
like
but I don't
it
like
out
the,
of the
I
moment.
don't like, yeah, out of the moment, exactly, or even before the moment. Like I know it's gonna get tense, and then it happens. I'm like, I don't like this. What am I doing? And then I'm done. I'm like, I like
Right.
that.
Right.
After out of it. But there's even times where like I wasn't like towards the end of the game, it started to get less tense because I played
Because you were
a good.
you were really good. Because like
I was getting
Isaac was
into
like
it.
Isaac was
Yeah,
the fucking
I
boss.
yeah, I'm sorry, good. Yeah, he was a boss, but I was like armor suit 4 at one point earlier today, and I was like, nothing could hurt me, man. I got all this inventory space. I upgraded my health. My rig is good. And then I find power suit level 5 schematic. I'm like, I'm fucking even better now. I go to the store. I buy that bitch. Sell all my things that give me money with the ruby and the gold ones. Just like, let's go, baby. I have all this ammo. I'm buying more ammo. I'm just like, that's good. I'm not tense right now. They should be tense. I'm coming from.
Right. And I love just fucking them over whenever they try they gang up on you.
Yeah. There's
Oh,
one
well.
time where I think like I can't remember what it was, like in a small room towards the end, a pretty small room, and like 6 of them showed up, and they didn't show up like in the same spot. They
Talking
showed
about
up here.
it's like a square room.
Yeah,
Had
it's a
pillars
square room.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was
that
one
part
of the decontamination moments. Where it was, like,
that part fucked
decontaminating.
me up.
Oh, did it?
That part fucked me up like 3 or 4 times, but I was playing it kind of dumb. I was kind of playing it Rambo-y. Where I'm like, all right, just boom, 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 and I'm like, all right, I'm dying too much. I gotta chill. So I played it smart. Like I kind of like backed myself in a corner, boom, 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 and killed him pretty easy.
Yeah, that's when I bust out the line gun, man. It's just like, let's go.
that dude, that plasma cutter, you just feel like a badass when you get a good shot. And I love just flicking the fucking modes. I love like tentacle that's flying out this way, boom, flip it, boom, flip it, boom.
I only flip it whenever like I take the legs out and I flip it for the arms.
Right.
And it feels like good, just like cutting the arms off with the vertical line. It's a great game. I'm surprised 11 years later, because I played like the first third of that game so many times. It was the same like as BioShock when it first came out. I played the first third of that game so many times I just never finished it.
Right.
Both games I have finished since, but it's a great game. It really is. Can we talk about a couple other things though, just like really quick, like we didn't mention?
No, go for it.
I really like the upgrade system. I know a lot of people don't care for it because you have to do the nodes and you don't know exactly where they are all the time. And sometimes you have to buy them, and that like if you feel like you really need a node, then you're wasting your money that you could use to buy ammo and stuff that could help you later. But it's a gamble. I like that. The upgrade system is good. And I like that even if you do a lot of searching around, you're not going to get all of what you want. Like if you want to upgrade everything, you're going to have to play it again. And I like that because it doesn't feel like a lot of games where it's like I'm at the end and I already upgraded everything. I'm still getting like experience points or whatever, or like upgrade points or whatever. So it feels like I'm actually having to decide what's the best course, I guess.
Agreed. It forces you to specialize, which is kind of
exactly.
Nice. The only thing I hated is that the secret rooms use the notes as well.
Yeah, that was annoying sometimes, but I like that because it's also a gamble because you're like, maybe I'll get my node back and there'll be other good stuff in there. And then sometimes there is a node in there, but most of the time there isn't. So I only used it a couple times. And I think of the couple times, I think I got one back and then 2 other times I didn't. It was just like, I think I did like 3 or maybe 4 doors.
I did the thing where I saved beforehand. I was like, let me save beforehand before I go in here. Went there, it was the worst bust ever. I was like, cool. I'll reload. And just I walked right past it.
Yeah. That's a good idea. I should have did that, but I didn't.
So.
There's a couple other things I want to mention.
Oh yeah, tell me when you're done with that.
Yeah. No, I'll get to it. We talked about the it's an old game. It's 11 years old, but I did want to give like special accommodations to Visceral Games for the graphics, because the graphics for the time were really good. Like they were like, I remember when it came out, everybody was talking about like this is like the best looking game of this gen so far. It looks amazing, and it still looks great. I think that's mainly because of the lighting. I think the lighting, even though sometimes it does, at least when I was playing it, I noticed it glitches out a lot here and there. Like you'll just see your shadow. It's just like fucking flailing around. I'm like, okay, I'm not moving. That's weird. But there's times where like the lighting actually is scarier than the necromorphs, because you just see like something pass by. You're like, what the fuck was that? I guess it technically is the necromorph that scared me, but it's still like the lighting is so good. And later on, we had other games that really used lighting effectively.
They had good uses of shadows, definitely.
Yeah,
shadows. It had that kind of alien feel.
Yeah.
You know what one of my favorite things was, really quick, just to interrupt you, is that
Sure.
when they drop in on a door and they run, you walk around the corner try to catch them, you see them crawl through a vent, and you're like, fuck. Now I gotta fucking fight them eventually.
Yeah. Like, yep. Yeah, they'll come for you, which I love. I love that a door is not like safety. You go through a door, they can't open the door, but they can get you somehow. Like that was the thing with the regenerator, which is another thing I want to talk about. Which is a thing that is connected to Resident Evil 4, right? Resident Evil 4 had the regenerator in there, right? Or was that a different Resident Evil? Didn't Resident Evil 4 have a regenerating like fight or whatever? One of the Resident Evils.
I don't think so.
I don't think
Top of my head now.
No.
Yeah. Well, one of the Resident Evils definitely did. I know that for a fact. It might not have been Resident Evil 4. But the regenerator guy is like you only fight him. You have to deal with him twice in the game, really.
I think 3 times.
3 times? Okay.
Oh no, the regenerator? Twice.
Yeah, twice because
he's coming back at you.
He keeps coming back, but like there's segments where it's like, you know, here's a segment, you might not see him for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, but he'll be back, and then he's gone after you beat him that first time with the cryogenic freezing or whatever. But then you see him later, and I thought he was a really good villain. I wish, or boss fight, I guess. I wish he was in it more because I just played Resident Evil 2 recently, and Resident Evil 2 has, of course, Mr. X, and he's a character that you can't kill, and he just keeps coming at you. He keeps fucking following you.
Spoilers.
And same thing with fucking for real. But yeah, that game is all about this guy just like coming at you, and I wanted that to be a bigger part of this because I really like the regenerator, and I like that you can defeat him. He'll just come back. You know, it's not like you shoot him and he's just like, I'm gonna fuck, I'm coming for you, bro. So yeah, I really like the regenerator. Special props to that. The graphics, the story itself, I like how it's presented because it's just like you're on there and you don't know what's going on and you like figure it out later. A lot of environmental storytelling too.
Very basic to the very end.
Yeah, but there's a lot of environmental stuff and of course logs, of course. But you'll see on the walls, it'll just say little like crazy things and it's piecing the story together. The story I think is better in the second one though because it's a little bit more basic, but it still has a lot of the good stuff about this game, like the audio logs and stuff.
I did like that when you first start the game and they separate you and you're just like, well, I guess the game started because I ain't seen y'all motherfuckers for a long time if I ever see you.
Whenever you see them, they're in like glass or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
when you walk through, they're like, hey Isaac, just go through this door. I'm like, oh shit.
Bye. I'll see you later, I guess maybe. But yeah, it was nice. It's isolation, which is great, and you would think EA would look at that and go, that's like the main point of Dead Space is that you're by yourself. So I don't know why
co-op destroys any horror in any game.
And it's not even co-op in the third game. There's other AI characters, I believe that I don't think they help you in the gameplay, but I'm pretty sure they like follow you around a lot and stuff. And I'm just like, this really destroys it because like, yeah, even if I want,
up, but yeah.
Yeah, you have a squad rolling up, and I don't think they help you fight, but it's just like you fight a couple of necromorphs, and maybe it's a little tense, and you're like, oh, and then you'll just meet up with like a couple characters, you know, it's just like, and then they'll be there, and they'll walk with you a little bit. It's just like, I don't
know. We'll get to it, I'm sure, eventually.
Yeah, because that's the thing. This game did. Sorry, my apologies. Didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say Dead Space. No, I was just gonna say Dead Space 3 is a fun game. But here we go.
Because Dead Space 1 definitely did really amplify the whole concept that anytime it seemed like you were gonna get a hand, it just smacked it right away.
Yeah.
Because like when they have like that rescue ship coming in, and it's like, oh, we're gonna get help. Oh, cool. Hey. Oh, wait, that's the capsule he sent out. Oh shit!
I love that scene where you're shooting all the debris out. Then and then they're like, oh, that's their ship.
Oh,
that's gonna hit us.
And then Isaac's like, fuck. It's like it's good stuff.
I wish Isaac had started to fuck every now and then because he deserved it.
He should have said just one fuck at least. At the end, he should have said, she went, fuck.
Yeah, when the screamer popped up.
Yeah.
And he looked over.
Fuck. Like fuck. He's still like whiny. Yeah, that would have been good.
Sounds like Gilbert Gottfried.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck, Jafar? I'm molting.
Anything else you want to say about it, Gore?
Yeah, I wrote some notes down. That's why I'm going through
go
them.
for it.
Yeah, no, I think I got through everything. We talked about the HUD. I really like the HUD. I just like
I
that
loved it. I loved the idea of it. Could have
and it's so
implemented
great.
more better.
I don't know. I think they did it. I think they did
I
it
mean,
well enough.
yeah. No, it
They
was
do it
fine.
better. They do it better in the other games.
Okay.
Even Dead Space 3, they do that. I'm pretty sure, at least. Pretty sure they do. I'm trying to think of any like times where it actually like opens up into an actual menu, but I don't think they do. I think they keep that. That's one thing they keep in Dead Space 3, I believe. But yeah, Dead Space 2 is, I think, scarier. They have enemies in that game I remember being fucking terrifying. Like it's just like there's one in particular that is a common enemy that is fucking just nightmarish. Just the idea of what it actually is. But yeah. So yeah, it's a great game. I don't have any notes. It's just not boss battles. You know, I have a bunch of notes we already talked about. So
What about you, David?
we talked about good stuff.
I really don't have anything else to add. We've kind of gone over everything that was in my notes. So,
What do you guys think of the legacy of the game, where it ended up bad, and how people remember it, and all that stuff?
Well, people definitely remember it. That's the thing. Every year I see people talking about the EA, whatever their press conference, and they say like, "Oh, it better be Dead Space. It better show Dead Space, new Dead Space, or whatever." And then everybody's disappointed. They make videos like, "No Dead Space this year." EA decides not to make money this year. Like, no Dead Space. It's just like,
Do we
I don't
think
know.
if they made a rebooted one, it will do well?
If they
if
keep
don't
it
fuck
simple,
up, yes.
if they make it simple like this game, they don't do fucking this 20-hour because that's the other thing.
Or this Mirror's Edge Catalyst shit.
Yeah, Dead Space 3 is also like a long game too. It's like 20 hours long. But it's also a co-op game, so yeah. That'll go by quicker when you have friends because that's
But
usually
it's definitely a game that stayed in consciousness of gamers. I mean, just even shooting the shit at work when talking about horror games, that's a game that still comes up. That people are like, oh man, I can remember shooting the limbs off and the atmosphere that was in the game. It's got a very long lasting memory to it. There's just something about it that it was done very well when it was first done. And the second game, I played bits and pieces, but I never finished it. And from what I do remember, it was definitely very well received as well.
Yeah.
But that first game especially, they captured the magic in a bottle with it. They hit the perfect formula. They knew what they wanted to do with it, and they did it well. And it's kind of sad that we haven't had anything else with it since.
I think if anything, they need to have a Renaissance thing where not Renaissance. I don't know why I said that word. They need to have like a deja vu moment where someone at EA looks at Resident Evil 2 and says, "Oh, this is the shit."
This is the shit,
and
dog.
just do that.
And then they look at their multiplayer game and they're like,
No, that's what they're talking about.
what?
They're talking about the new one and said this is the shit.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Okay, good. I forgot what it's even called.
No,
That's why I
I'm
said
kidding.
the multiplayer game.
Yeah.
I know you're not. You said Resident Evil 2. So
Yeah.
but
no, like they just need to understand there's a market for it now. I think now you're not gonna fucking sell Call of Duty numbers. You're not gonna do all that, but I just don't understand. Like, it feels like goodwill can be made if they make a smaller budget and just know that they're gonna shoot for a smaller audience, but that audience will be loyal fans.
Exactly.
Anyway,
yeah.
Dead Space is awesome.
Horror games now.
Game.
Another thing I just want to say: horror games now are just like all over, everywhere. Like, I mean, you look at YouTube. Like, most of the people that make videos nowadays are like the popular videos are like, yeah, maybe not the best example, but yeah, there's a lot of horror games out there, and there's some really great ones. I played Moons of Madness I talked about earlier today, and that one actually takes itself seriously. It's not jump scares every 5 seconds. That one's actually a story. So there's still games out there that do not just shitty jump scares like Five Nights at Freddy's or whatever. And I hope in the future we get another Dead Space that's not, microtransaction.
I hope we just straight get rebooted. I want Dead Space 4. I just want to start all over.
I'd be fine with 4. Yeah, they have to kind of start it over because Dead Space 3 it goes weird places, and then the DLC goes even fucking stranger places with its story. So it's just like,
so let's just reboot it and give us Isaac again. Fuck it, but like,
yeah, Isaac's fine. Bring Isaac back. Give him a big beard. I want a
Make
big
him-
beard.
Oh
I
yeah,
want
yeah. Make
like
him
a
gruff.
big
Hey,
beard.
no, beard.
Big beard. I want a ponytail too, but just the ponytail, no other hair. Just the ponytail that goes out like this.
You don't want a
And I
man
want
bun?
him. I want to have a eye patch and a scar on his other eye so he can't see. I don't know why he does that.
But
And
no,
a man bun.
it holds up still to this day. It's surprising, but it's not surprising too, considering how well it's been remembered.
Yep.
Phenomenal time I had with it. It was definitely well needed and something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I needed a little bit of push to do this, which is the reason why we're doing these. Is kind of a little kick in the ass. And Chris is kind of like a procrastinator number one here because he's just so far in both games he's just skirted on the edge of like, all right, I finished, let's record.
You finished like 20 minutes before I
Yeah,
did.
but I'm one
Fucker.
because I picked Undertale, so I finished it earlier. But you're 2 and 2.
Yeah,
for
exactly. And he also picked a game that
You're
the first game we did.
2
He
and
repeat.
2. You're 2 and 2 right now, though.
At least I picked a game I didn't finish.
But the reason
You
why I
did.
picked
You
Undertale
did.
was
Just remember
because
that.
I also wanted to like look up the
Be
details.
lazy.
I knew beforehand. Like I knew all this like stuff with like Gaster and stuff like that too. Tell me fun facts about Dead Space, Gore.
Every level, the first letter of every level spells out Nicole's dead. I bet you didn't know that shit.
Does it really?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That's a good job.
There you go. This motherfucker coming at me.
All right. With that said, that was our Games Gone By segment for this month of October 2019. David, look at that! Look at that smile. Are you gonna fuck up Gore right now?
So by Gore's popular demand, we'll be doing Mass Effect. No,
Oh.
Look at his face. Look at that face. You almost got him. His face dropped. He was like, "Fuck."
I'm not doing it. So it doesn't matter. I'll be
Come on,
doing
just
something
do
else.
it. Just do it.
All right. What's the game?
Almost. No, this is the second we said we were going to do this. I had this immediately in my head. The game that we'll be doing for November, is Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh shit, that's funny. I was gonna do a playthrough for that this month. I never got around to it.
Now
All
he
right,
has
that's
to.
good. I'll do that. That's a quick one too. So you know what it is, right,
Yeah,
Adrian?
just
No,
go
Adrian, do
for-
you
I
know
know.
anything
Don't
about
tell
that?
me anything.
Don't
I've
fucking-
literally, every time anyone said this word, I've muted it. I don't want to hear a
Yep.
goddamn thing about it. I'm going in blind. I'm going in fucking
It's
hell
best to go
blind.
blind. And it is a quick save if you go for one ending. If you just go for one ending, it's
Now
like
I
4
know
hours.
there's multiple endings. Shut up. Anyway, that's our
Man over here.
that's our Doki Doki Literature Club. Is our Games Gone By for November. And let me see what date it is actually. Let's see.
I'd say the 30th.
Where is that at?
Where it be? Let's say 29th.
Yeah, so it'll be on Black Friday, baby.
Oh boy, when's
Not Black
wait.
Friday, Thanksgiving.
Oh. Okay, we're recording a day before that.
We're
though.
recording it the day before Thanksgiving.
Okay, good. I was about to say I ain't gonna be here. Obviously, nobody's gonna be here.
Yeah.
It'll be either Thanksgiving or Black Friday.
So give thanks to Doki Doki Literature Club. That'll be our Games Gone By for that time.
Yeah.
And, hold
out.
on.
What?
Oh, God damn it. I was kind of hoping for a second that December would also fall on a Thursday, but we're off one day.
Oh, wait,
So
it'll be
it's
on
been
Christmas.
Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas are our Games
Yeah,
Gone By
so
segment.
we got damn. We would have had a trilogy of
Yeah, we're unfortunately
holiday.
the December Games Gone By is the day after Christmas, which is kind of you're still in festive
let's
moods.
No, let's do it early because we can't record on Christmas, right?
I can.
Yeah, I can.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to. So
You're
we'll
always
see.
on.
I don't know.
Love having a family life.
It's true, but
Worst case, we can record. I'm
we
off
should
for
record.
break.
I
I'm
think
off-
we should record early and then put it up on Christmas as a special Christmas present for the 3 people that listen.
We'll see. We'll play your cards right.
Play your cards right, you 3 people. Anyway.
But we can, in that case, we can record early anyway, so it's not a big deal. There's
Yeah.
no
Well,
fucking.
I think early would be the thing that I can't do. So it would have to be later in the night. Anyway,
No, I'm saying
we'll
record
put-
like as in like the day prior.
Oh yeah, day prior. Okay.
I'll be on winter
Actually-
break.
Only other thing I will say about Doki Doki, do you guys have multiple monitors?
I do,
I don't.
but I don't think Doki Doki Literature Club can play on the updated Mac OS I just got. So we'll see. I can see. Oh, you know what?
it's idling the fuck
No,
up.
you know what? No, my MacBook isn't updated yet.
Okay.
Oh no,
What-
it is.
Is it or is it not?
It is. I have a Surface though. I can see if I can rig it somehow.
Why does that matter, David?
Because it is not updated to play on the new one.
Yeah, because Catalina requires 64-bit operations, and I think Doki Doki's is coded in 32.
Mm-hmm.
But the only other thing I will say is definitely try to play with 2 monitors, and keep the install directory open on your second monitor. It's the only other thing I'll say about this game.
It's fucking spoilers.
I don't even know what that means.